Welcome to the Real Estate Leading Edge podcast, where every week we interview a top producing agent who will share with you exactly how to grow your business and live the life of your dreams.
Hey there, Shadi Bazzi here. Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Leading Edge. I am super duper excited this week because we have a marvelous guest, someone I've been working very close with, and someone who's just doing big things that we want to share with you today. And of course, how could I not be super duper excited? Sitting next to the amazing Sherry Saad, number
Thank you,
one
Sherry.
agent for all of REMAX
Thank
in the country. So we got a lot to cover today, so let's just get with it.
Yeah.
So Mike, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone, let people know how long you've been in the business, in the real estate industry, and who are you?
My name is Mike Sobh. I've been in the real estate industry since '98. I was in the mortgage field till 2012. I worked for Fifth Third Bank, Wells Fargo, Chase. I owned my own real estate brokerage. I ended up coming to REMAX probably 3-4 years ago,
Okay.
and I've been here ever since.
Awesome. So 3-4 years with REMAX, 20 years in the real estate industry altogether, directly, indirectly through the mortgage industry, etc. Just selling real estate, not including mortgages. How many years?
I would say 10.
Okay, so about 10 years
10
in the
years.
business. Okay. And how many deals will you close this year in 2019?
I will close 100 deals.
100 deals. I'm going to hold you accountable. Let me write that down.
Write it down.
100
It's
transactions
a done deal, right?
in 2019.
I-
We're going to stay tuned and see if he does accomplish that goal.
So you know what that means now? You're not just holding them accountable.
The whole audience are keeping
The
him
whole
accountable.
audience is going to hold you accountable.
Yeah,
That's
the
fine.
whole- Yes.
So you know what we got to do?
What?
December 31st.
Yes.
We got to come on live and update everybody.
That's it. We're
Yep.
fine.
We got to have you back on the show.
Hold on. Are you going to do the 100?
I'm going to do the 100.
You're going to do 100?
Yeah.
Say it again.
I'm going to do the 100.
Okay,
Like,
that's
is
what
there
we want.
any doubt that you're going to do 100?
I'm going to do 100. I said
All right.
I'm going to do 100.
Perfect. So I want to make a point right here. Okay. And the point is, a lot of times when I personally work with agents from all over the country, and I ask them, hey, what is the goal? Okay. And they say, I hope to earn that much, or I hope to close that many deals. And, or sometimes they say, well, I don't know, how many deals do you think I should do? Okay. And I always say, that's the wrong answer. I always say, that's the wrong question. Because it don't matter what I think. It don't matter what I believe. It's all about you and your belief system.
Absolutely.
And what I want everyone that's actually watching this video, if you're listening to it, I want you to go back to YouTube and I want you to watch the video version of this podcast. And I want you to take a look at his posture. I want you to take a look at his body language. I want you to literally listen to his tonality and the way that he responded. Like in his response, there's no way on earth that he's not going to do 100 deals. So the point that I'm trying to make is, whatever your goal is, okay, last week's episode, the quote I shared was, if you want to go for it, you got to grow for it. Okay,
Absolutely.
because when you have that belief system, it doesn't matter what obstacle you're going to be faced with. It doesn't matter what challenge, the world or life is going to put in front of you. What you're going to do is you're going to knock that challenge down and you're going to do whatever it takes. And I think that's the attitude that you got.
Well, yeah, it's just like in a listing appointment. When I go to a listing appointment, I'm going to a listing appointment to get that listing. I'm not telling myself that I'm not going to get that listing.
You're already claiming it before you get to the door.
100%.
Well, I think too with Mike Sobh, I think he might exceed the 100 units this year because why? Chetty, his mindset is already all there, and with the coaching that you have, coached him, with his whole mindset, his whole demeanor has totally changed.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that you will do
Yes,
over 100
me
deals
either.
this year. All right, terrific. So where do you get your business from? You got to do 100 deals. 100 deals is a lot of deals. I mean, there's people listening to this, they just want to do 10, 20, 30 deals, for the year. They can't fathom doing 100. How will you do 100 deals this year?
Well, last year I did 60 units.
Yes.
Last year.
Yes, you did.
And that's not till I met you in January or December.
December, yeah.
Yes.
We sat down in December and I ended up switching from people that I know, the sphere that I had, to cold calling.
Yeah.
And calling every single day early in the morning to expired listings, FSBO, and
you've never done that before?
never.
So you
Okay.
changed your whole entire business, your whole
100%.
structure.
100%. You're talking most of the closings that I have right now currently are all listings. If I'm listing probably 1 to 2 a week, you know, sometimes even more, it all depends, and it's all coming from cold calling, which I never did before.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
All right, so you've been. Let's put a timestamp on this. We're dating. We're right now, like let's say June. Okay, so basically you've been doing the calling for approximately 5 months.
Correct.
Okay. So hold on a sec. So let's talk. I think this is very important because you know I work with agents from all over the country, and there's a lot of people
well,
that
I
want to
can
do
personally
this.
tell you that I've seen a big shift in Mike Sobh's business. Personally, the whole office is, and everybody's trying to get into his door, his office, and his mind to see how he was able to quickly go from running around trying to catch these buyers, see if they're going to buy, to becoming a listing agent so quickly like that.
It just shifted.
Shifted.
All right, so.
Literally 0 to 200 instantly.
Yeah,
which I commend you and congratulate you on.
It went from having 6 listings to having over 25, 30 listings.
Wow. So basically you quadrupled your listing inventory.
100%.
Yes. Ever since you have come on board, Jay.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. But here's my prediction. My prediction is I think you're going to end up doing a lot more than the 100 deals this year. The reason being is, usually it takes a little bit of time for people to create a result. And I think what you've really done in the 5 months is you created the results, but you've also built a foundation. Now that the foundation is built, your results, your ratios are going to increase, especially now that, you're participating in more skills training and all that stuff. So I'm going to raise the goal from, 100 to 120.
But you guys got to understand too, it wasn't just the cold calling that helped. It's how Shady had us set up where, how we talk to a client. You got to understand, I never went into a listing appointment understanding that the 4 W's and the H at the end.
I'm being honest. What is the 4 W's?
The what, when, why, and where. And the how much.
Am
I right or am I wrong?
That's very important walking into that appointment.
When you're going to a listing appointment, what are you telling that seller?
Yeah.
When do you want to sell your house? Where are you going to end up going after you sell your house?
Yeah.
Or where your destination is. Same thing.
What are you planning to?
What is important?
What is important to you? And how? When are you planning to get there?
Yeah.
And how much are you looking to sell your property? Yeah. These were big words that we never went into a listing presentation and ended up talking to the seller and explaining to them these questions, which we needed answers.
Yeah.
To know how we were going to list these properties.
Right.
So you were just thrown in the field with no. Not knowing what to say. You didn't have a complete listing package presentation when you walked in.
Nope, it's just...
and you've been in the industry for how long? And you're just now finding out the importance of having that listing presentation and the skill.
The process, the system, the skill.
And that's why RE/MAX Leading Edge is big. And
say it again, let me hear it again.
That is why RE/MAX Leading Edge is huge.
That's music to my ears. I love
100%. This is the reason why. The training that you have here at RE/MAX Leading Edge, there's no other company doing it. The marketing that we have here, there's no other company doing it.
Good. We're going to talk about marketing in a couple of minutes. But Mike, I want to go back to some of the things because there's a lot of people that watch this podcast because we get private messages all the time. People saying, "Can you expand a little bit more on the how versus just the what?" So basically, and I know this is a big thing because prospecting is something that a lot of people don't do.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm scared of prospecting myself.
Because they have a fear of rejection and or they just don't know what to say and all that good stuff. Now you've never picked up the phone, you've never prospected, and then all of a sudden, we gave you a script and we said, hey, memorize the script, and we told you, hey, go get Mojo or RedX, and you went and got the system, and then you started dialing. I'm just curious, when you first started dialing, how long did it take you to set your first appointment?
Right away. The thing is, the script was powerful. What was on that script that you gave us was powerful.
Okay, so did you set up an appointment the same day, the second day, third day?
I would say it took us a week. It took me a week to get it.
So it took you a week to set up an appointment.
Correct.
I'm just curious, how long did it take you to get the first listing?
Oh, that same week. Right when I got that appointment, I got the listing. The reason why is I had the confidence going in there that I was going to get the listing.
How'd you get the confidence?
Role play.
Yeah, it's role play. Every single morning that we sat in here and we were going one-on-one, we were role playing, that was confidence. It's like you're sitting in an audience, a million people sitting in front of you, you're talking to them people, but you don't have the confidence to say it, but you're with your peers when you're going one-on-one with each other. That helps.
So
Okay.
it's important to have your associates, your peers here with you doing the role play because they're like your family. They're there to encourage you.
150%.
And you can't go wrong with them.
150%.
They're not going to judge you if you scream a little bit louder or yell or, saying I'm the best,
No.
You have to say you're the best in order to get your mindset right.
Absolutely.
It was the energy that we had. We were screaming at each other, but at the same time, it was energy that, you can leave the conference room and end up going in your office and talking to somebody on the phone and not scared of them.
Right. So basically, if I can break it down in a systematic way so our audience can, take this and apply it in their own career is number one is because you need the confidence, you need a script.
Correct.
Okay.
But you make that script yours.
Well, yeah, I mean, my script or somebody else's script, whatever you guys want, it's totally up to you. If you're in a local marketplace here in the Detroit metro area and you want to copy the script,
I'll
share
be more
you-
than happy to share it with you.
So what did you,
At all,
should they
because
just send you a private message or?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, so look, it's not about holding back, it's all about contribution. We all work with each other at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what company you're with, etc. All right, so what you're telling them is get a script, memorize the script. Should they memorize the objection handlers?
100%.
Okay,
That's big.
How
okay.
big is it?
Very big, but it's powerful. You got to understand, even though I was sitting on the phone and I had my earpiece with me, I still had a board in front of me with the objective handlers that I had in front of me. In
Great.
case
That's good to
I
know.
needed, somebody gave me an objection, I knew where to look in case I didn't know what to say.
Yeah,
That's powerful.
I have not heard that. I like
Yeah.
that. So it's like having your objective handler. Your
Yeah, right
script
right there in front of you.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
just like
board.
having your mini coach there,
Yeah.
your avatar.
Yeah.
It's like your avatar on your board.
But everything he taught me is right in
Yes.
front of me, and I have a mirror. Ask him. I have a mirror where I look at my image right in front of me on the board, and I look at myself while I'm speaking to these people.
Yeah. Sherry, when I used to, when I first started to get exposed to this world of personal development and skills building and all this stuff, I went to work for, okay, and what they did is they gave me actual scripts, okay, for how to sell real estate agents into the programs, not for real estate,
Yeah.
and I put those on my board, okay, like right there in front of me, with Velcro, laminated, etc. And anytime somebody said anything, it was right there in front of me, and I didn't even have it memorized. I just like boom, right, and it works.
Wow.
Okay, so having that visual in front of you,
It's very important.
I think is very, very critically important.
100%.
Okay, what else, Sherry? What do you want to ask?
Do you have a daily routine? Like, is it best to prospect in the morning, afternoon, at night? What during the day prospecting has given you the most and best results?
What I learned from Shaddy and from Remax here is scheduling.
Scheduling.
Scheduling is key in anything you do in business, especially in real estate.
Okay.
You have to have a schedule, a daily routine, doing certain things, certain events that you're doing throughout the day. That you have to have it set up. You have to either write it down, make sure that you commit to that schedule,
Okay.
and use that schedule.
How many times have you gone off your schedule?
Well, in the beginning I did.
Yeah.
We had to talk about that. The reason why I wasn't used to it, I had to commit to certain things where, I had listing appointments that were coming in that I was going to, and I was getting listings, inputting myself. Other people were calling me, so I was getting off the schedule where, cold calling, I might do one day yes, one day no. Shady goes, listen, either you commit to it or don't,
Yep.
Yeah.
because you got to stay on top of it, or you're not going to be successful in doing
Yes.
it.
Actually, I said something else to you on top of that too. I remember the conversation is because you're self-employed from another business as well too, so you've always been your boss. And then coming into real estate, it's I think one of the biggest challenges that we have is you're an independent contractor, you ain't got no boss. And I said to you, your schedule is your boss. Okay, and if you just like for example, your employees, if they do what they are supposed to do, the system works and everybody gets the results and everybody's happy, right?
Yeah.
So your schedule is your boss, and when you follow your schedule, guess what happens?
Oh yeah,
You get the results.
100%.
I also have another question. So, you got the script down pat, you have your prospecting. How do you use social media? Because I do see that you're a big player on social media.
Yep.
How do you prospect through social media?
Listen, social media is huge. Being in Remax is huge. The reason why being in Remax is huge, we have the greatest marketing strategy design that is implemented with Remax that we utilize to help our clients take their house and sell it for them, or even try to promote their properties. And that helps a lot coming from an agent in a company like Remax. And you know, coming from prospecting, marketing, the environment that we're in, all that helps.
So you've diversified. So basically, you're getting business from your past clients instead of the influence. You get the referrals,
100%.
and then you're picking up the phone and you're going out there and getting listings.
Mhm.
And now you're utilizing social media to promote your listings. Is social media helping you sell your listings?
Let me tell you this much. I had a deal that came in on a property in Dearborn through social media. The reason why is the person came to me and goes to me, Mike, I see you constantly in front of my face. I go to them, that's exactly why I do it. If I'm constantly in front of their face and something pops up there, they either want to buy or sell, and I'm in front of their face constantly, what's going to happen? They're going to call who?
Because you're gonna think of you right away automatically. So
Exactly.
it's just like you know when you think of fast food, you think of Burger King, McDonald's, coffee, Starbucks, Tim Hortons. Now when you think of real estate, they're gonna think of you because you're always there. You're in every corner.
Correct.
It's called omnipresence, Sherry.
Yes.
It's called omnipresence,
Yes.
and basically omnipresence is like you are everywhere that they are.
But do you overwhelm them with your presence, or do you give bits and pieces?
Listen, it's good to give certain facts
Yes.
about real estate,
Great.
certain ideas, what's good, what benefits the person or the buyer, the seller. So you're giving them certain facts that helps them.
So you're giving value. You're not just saying, I sold a
100%.
house, I took another listing. You're giving value.
That's great. That's a good achievement that I sold that house, which is fine, you know, and I got top dollar for it, which is great. But I'm looking for the next thing.
Yeah.
The next challenge with the next client, because every client that we have has a challenge.
Yeah.
And they're, you know, not every client you're gonna get is perfect.
Right.
You know, I got a guy in Lincoln Park that came to me and goes, Mike, I got two mortgages on my house. My house isn't worth anything. Okay, so but your first mortgage is fine. He goes to me, yes, it's $65,000 I owe on it, but the house is worth $75,000. I owe $22,000 on the second. Well, I had ended up doing a short sale on the second to where I got it to $5,000, sold it. He goes, Mike, I don't want no money, just sell it, get rid of it. But I made a client for life where I got him out of the hole that he was in doing a short sale, and this was a week ago.
Yeah.
And I'm closing on it next week. It's not like 2 years ago. This was a week ago. Who's doing short sales now? I don't believe any agent's doing a short sale right now.
No, but that's very good that you're able to do all
But
that.
I'm just saying, everybody has a certain scenario or certain thing that they need to be.
So you keep the focus on the client.
100%.
And you cater to their needs always.
Always. That's our job.
Yeah.
As real estate agents.
So going back to social media, how often do you post on social media? Is it like every day? Is it every week?
I would do it every day.
Every day. How many times a day do you post?
I would do once.
At least once a day.
Yep. Because
Okay.
you got to understand that with social media, if you know the tactics about social media, as long as you post and the people that like it, it's always going to pop in front of them people's face.
So now with social media, you also have a Facebook business page. So you don't really utilize your own page. You use your business page because that's where it's gonna show up. Once they like it, you're gonna always pop up. You're always gonna be there.
Well, the biggest thing is every time I put it on my personal page,
Yes.
I go to check in. My
Yes.
check in pops up my business page, and I add my business page to my personal page.
So it's good.
So it links it together.
Good strategy.
So you
I like that.
you build an audience too.
100%. 100%.
That's
good. All right. So back again, we're doing. You're working your database.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're working for sale by owners.
Mm-hmm.
You're working expireds,
Mm-hmm.
and you're working social media.
Correct.
Okay. Let's go back to the database.
CRM.
CRM.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you communicate with the people in your database?
Twice a week. I do it every Monday and every Friday.
That's good.
So you're touching somebody in your database.
I'm sending them valuable information, either a newsletter, a letter that I'm sending out, fax, or information that I'm emailing them every day. So I send out a letter for a first-time home buyer. I might get a response within an hour saying, Mike, my friend's interested in a property. I even showed it to you.
Yeah.
My friend's interested in a property. Can you call him? And this is the phone number. That's how big CRM is. If you have a database, at least 6,000 emails on there, and you're constantly emailing these people, you're in their face. It takes a minute, people, to put it on Facebook. It takes a minute to put on your CRM.
What do you mean a minute? It takes 2 seconds.
I'm just saying, whatever it is.
A minute.
You know
What's
what I
a
mean?
minute? Do you know I could sell 3 homes in a minute?
But I'm just saying that everything's powerful. It's like what one person told us. I can sit behind my computer and do what I got.
Yes, I have a challenge that someone's going to come on board and just sit behind a computer and a desk and sell over, $10 million in real estate. So that challenge is on. So stay tuned.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah. We're a world of challenges here.
I love that.
If you don't have challenges in real estate, it's not going to keep you hungry and alive. And if you don't have competition, it's not going to keep you hungry and alive. So remember that.
But that's the power of RE/MAX and leading edge, especially here.
You really love this brand, don't you?
I love the brand, and I love that Shetty's here and what you're bringing to the table,
Thank
plus
you.
our marketing. And what people don't understand, even the agents out there looking at this podcast, what you don't understand, what we have here is very powerful.
I can hear it in your voice, and I
Yeah.
can see your emotions, and
Yeah.
we're so honored to have you here, Mike.
I
You
appreciate
represent this very
I
well.
appreciate it.
But you know what I love? I just, one of the things that I like to do is I like to observe people. I like to see in people what a lot of people don't pay attention to. I mean, that's the job of a coach. I believe that one of the things that caused you to be able to create results quickly is because you were learning things for you, but I felt like you weren't just learning things for you, you were also learning things for others. And what I mean by that is, I know in your role at the office and every part of the office, you became the guy that says, here's how you do this, here's how you do that,
Yes.
etc. Which is a lot of people don't
Yes.
do that because they see other people as competition. And you're like, I even heard you yell at one guy, look, don't say this, say that. Don't do this, do that. Kind of thing.
Well, that's big because listen, you gotta understand, we're RE/MAX leading edge. We're a family, we're a team. And the reason why I'm in RE/MAX leading edge is you become successful with the people you surround yourself
Absolutely.
And for our audience, just an FYI, this is not a commercial
It's
for
not,
RE/MAX
honestly,
leading
it's
edge.
not the way we want
I'm
it
kind
to
of like
go.
thinking it's kind of sounding like
with. No, it's not a commercial. I'm telling it the way it is. I'm passionate about it.
He's just passionate about it. He's
Honestly,
loving it.
if you were here, you could
So-
feel the energy in the room. Like he's very
Yeah.
emotional
So
about it.
I just wanted to put
Yeah.
that out there because it's not about the company. It's
No,
more about
no.
what it is that we are doing
Yes.
to set an example for the industry, but not just to set an example of what's possible for the industry, but to also share with the industry exactly what it is that we are doing so they can do it because we don't believe in competition anyways.
But
No,
I
there's no
honestly
competition.
feel if you're an agent and you don't get the tools and resources and the support from your brokerage, then
That
it might
may
be
invite you to
time.
come over.
Yeah, it's time for a change.
Yeah,
Whatever
whether-
state you're in,
Yeah, whatever
you know,
state you're in.
you should really honestly see what is that office providing.
100%.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in any
No,
bad
no.
way or anything, but if you see an agent here that is so emotional and so happy that he wants to tell the whole world about
Yeah.
it, then you know what? You should take a step back and see what is that brokerage that I'm with? What kind of value do they give me? Like, am I valuable to them? If I left, would they even care?
Right.
Not even that, I would sit with whatever agent wanted to come on board, and I would personally show them what RE/MAX is about.
Because with the
Phone number. No, I'm joking.
No, but anyways, Mike is a very, very generous man
of contribution for sure.
in this office. Example, sometimes you say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
So we have a veteran, we have multiple veterans here, but we had one that, that training's not for me, that role play's not for me. So one day he goes, hey Mike, come in my office. Show me this media stuff. I was on my Facebook. I go, did this agent just really post an ad? I looked at it. I ran to the office. I said, you did that? He goes, yeah. You like it? I go, I love it. He goes, Mike just showed me how to do it. The next day I'm like, Mike is in his office again. And I went back to my Facebook to see what he posted. And I'm like, thank you, Mike. And this agent's like, yeah, I love it. So now this agent is posting every single day.
But the powerful thing about it was he got a deal from Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I'm not
He did.
lying to you, he got a deal from Facebook.
Yep.
Just putting it out there.
And you know what? He has jury duty coming up next week. And he's like, Sherry, man, I'm trying to get out of it. I'm like, why? Go. It's your duty. He's like, no, I'm going to miss the meetings. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss that. I go, don't worry. We'll tape it for you. He goes, man, I'm trying to get out of it. I'm like, you're trying to get out of it. He goes, no, I really want to stay up to date with what's going on in the office.
Yep.
And this is an old dog that you couldn't teach new tricks to. And look at that. That's amazing.
Yep.
Love it. So Mike, okay, we talked about social media. We talked about prospecting. We talked about your database. We talked about contribution and mentorships. Let's talk a little bit more about. We kind of touched on it, but I think we could talk a little bit more about it too. Skills.
Mhm.
How important is skills?
Very important. Knowing how to speak to people, communicate. When you're going into a listing presentation, you don't know what to say or how to react or deal with the objection. The skills, being in the business. Listen, everybody can say they're number one. Everybody can say they're this or that. The type of person I am, I'm direct. I'll tell you exactly what your house is worth. If we can sell it, what needs to be done to it. I'm not going to tell you that everything's beautiful or everything's we're going to sell it within the next 30 days or less. Might take time, but we're going to get it done. And that's the type of people we are. But we do it right. We're not going to sit there and BS you.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And skills is very important in this kind of business.
It's very important for you to know the market, especially
100%.
walking into that property.
100%.
Can you give a little bit of coaching on that to
Sure.
our audience
Yes,
about like
absolutely.
which specific, some of the skills that we worked on, and they're probably thinking like, okay, I know I need skills, but what specifics do I
Okay.
need to get?
Yes,
So
go ahead.
let me just
You have my
share with-
permission. You have my permission, Shady.
I got permission.
You got permission.
Yep.
Don't
Awesome.
abuse it.
All right. So there are specific scripts that you need to learn in order for you to take your life and your business to the next level. Okay. And everything in real estate revolves around a conversation. Okay, you sit down with a buyer, guess what? You're having a conversation. You sit down with a seller, you're having a conversation. You're negotiating with the other agent, you're having a conversation. You're negotiating with the lender, the title rep, you're speaking, it's all a conversation. So let's talk about the specific conversation. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to learn the art and science of how to get people to feel good in your presence. Remember that? Remember you wanted that listing appointment? You don't need to use any profanity or anything like that, but like, did that work or what?
Yeah.
You got it at his level.
Well, the thing was, what he told me, the way he approached me, I approached him the same way he approached me. I kind of acted the way he acted. And when he looked at me like this, it's like, okay, I need you. That's what happened.
So that's one skill, is how to get on the same level with people. Okay, so that's one. Number two is the art and science of pre-qualifying. How to get people to tell you everything that you need to know in order for you to serve them at the best and highest level. Okay, you are supposed to discover what do they want, what do they need, what problems they need to solve for them, what is the time frame, who else is involved in making this decision, and what is their financial status like, financial ability like. Okay, so that's you. It's your job to discover that. Mike, is there anything else that they need to learn on how to discover it?
Well, the biggest thing is it's a constant role play that you got to do. It's a constant thing that you're always learning.
Practice that constantly
Always.
over and over
It's
again.
Practice,
Okay.
practice.
So we said number one is get on the same, build rapport. Number two, pre-qualify. Number three is listing presentation.
That listing presentation is so important.
Yeah.
When I go on a listing presentation, you mind if I just...
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in.
So when I go on a listing presentation, I'm not your ordinary realtor. I wasn't, I didn't have like the listing presentations, the scripts and all that. So I had to make my own listing presentation. So normally when I walk into a listing, I have 2 pads of paper and 2 pens. So when I first walk in, I introduce myself, I hand them the pad of paper and the pen, and I say, let's walk through the property. Please write down everything that we discussed so that way we can bring your house, to the, to the listing, that way we can bring your house, whatever needs repairs needs to be done or whatever to stage it.
You guys can both be on the same page and
we're
have
all
the
on the
right
same page.
conversation.
So when you see them grabbing the pen and they're actually writing down, you already got it in the bag. You just gotta
but see,
wrap it up.
But here's another, psychological thing that you're doing is you're actually taking control by
Yes.
giving them control.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, you get what I'm talking about?
The way I do things is right when I walk into the house, I ask to see the house first because I'm making my foot presence there that I'm already listening
Yeah,
to
but
house.
also too, I'm making my foot presence by
Yeah.
handing them that
Yeah.
pad of paper.
Yeah.
And if I say you need to take down all your family pictures because now, when a buyer walks in, they're not interested in the house, they're interested to know who you are.
Yeah.
So they're writing it down. Take down portrait, take down this,
I love
declutter,
that.
do this.
Yeah.
So if they're writing that down and they're writing it down, they're listening to you. You got them.
They're following your
They're
lead.
following the lead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
The biggest thing too is clients love when you listen to them
Yes.
and not talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're a talker,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Listening is the foundation to all your powers of influence. Okay, so and then the skill of how to handle objections and the skill of how to get the signature to close. So that's something that you all should be working on. Go to your broker, go to a colleague, or reach out to us, and we'll go ahead and help you out with that as much as we possibly can. So that's the skills that you need to master. Once you master these skills, then there's a next level, and the next level is NLP. I want you to talk a little bit about, not in a commercial way or anything like that. I just want to know because Sherry, you provide the NLP training for the
Yes.
whole entire office.
Mhm.
How has NLP helped you in your business?
big. I didn't know how to communicate with a person, but at the same time, making them do what I want them to do. That's huge.
Oh, wow.
You're playing with somebody's mind, but playing with it to a point that,
Ethically.
correct. You're not screwing with them. It's just like what he said. You give somebody a knife,
Yeah,
they use it to butcher someone, but you give somebody a knife, they might cut the apple with it.
exactly.
That's NLP.
Mhm.
That's
Intention.
NLP. Intention. How do you use NLP, and what is your intention and how you use it?
Yeah.
How you speak to that person is huge.
Yeah.
And that's big in our business.
Love it.
Because if we're giving certain facts and certain information to this client, they want to hear what they want to hear, but we're
Love
telling them.
So, what I want you to do is I want you to just give 1, 2, or 3 specific things, okay, on how to overcome a challenge, on how to overcome an obstacle, on how to get over a dry spell or something like that. Like if somebody came up to you right now, maybe someone from this office or maybe someone from another office, and I'm sure there's people from all over the country who are going to reach out to you and might want to pick your brain on something. Somebody's going to say to you, Mike, I don't know what's going on. I just feel like I'm burned out. My listings ain't selling. I'm having a hard time getting leads. What's your tactical, systematic coaching to that person?
Me, I would if I'm burnt out and I don't have any solution to my problem or something, I would just stop right there for a minute and reevaluate what I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
Because it could be that I'm going off my schedule.
So I'm that person. I want you to talk to me as if I'm that person. What do you want me to do? Number one, here's what I want you to freaking damn do.
I would go back to your schedule.
Okay, so number one, you're gonna say, I love that, by the way.
Yeah.
Because what's happening in your business today, if you're achieving success today,
Mhm.
go back and take a look at what you've been doing in your
100%.
schedule for the last 30 days, and that's the reason why you're successful today.
Yeah.
If you're having a hard time today, go back and take a look at your schedule and see what you're doing that you shouldn't be doing or what you're not doing that you should be doing, and that's exactly why.
Correct.
So number one, you're gonna say, go back, take a look at your freaking damn schedule and figure out what you're doing wrong.
Yep. Second of all, if there's issues with the listings that you have, I would go evaluate every single listing and call my clients back and sit down with them one-on-one and say, listen, this is not working where we had it listed. There's either we have to structure the listing or bring it down or,
So communication and feedback with your your listing.
Listen, the biggest key in this business is as long as, you communicate with people.
Yeah.
And you're out there telling them facts and exactly what's happening, you're so comfortable.
Yeah.
But when you go off that edge and turn to the right a little bit, that's where you're gonna have problems.
Right. Okay, so number two is if they have listings that aren't selling, it's time to sit down with the seller and say, look, here's everything that we've done to get the property sold. Here's the feedback that we
Correct.
got.
Yeah, but he's giving
and here are the
feedback.
changes.
But Shadi, it's not when something's wrong. He's keeping the line of communication
Right.
open every single day. Every single week. And I know Mike communicates, he does his feedbacks every Friday to
That's
all
right.
his listings.
Okay. So basically, you give them the feedback, and then you make whatever adjustments. So you would tell me to do that.
You're correct.
Okay.
You know, I set up, for example, in the listings that I have too, I utilize in Real Comp where I give the once in a week update where, for example, if that listing goes to 400 websites, how many people seen that property? And my clients are getting an email once a week giving them
The database.
database.
So basically, what you're telling me is I need to be in more communication with my sellers,
Yes.
and then I won't have a problem
Yes.
with my
Not when
system.
there's a problem.
Not when there's a problem.
Yes.
Perfect.
Constant, yeah.
So that's number 2. What if my mindset is like totally off? What would you tell me to do to get my head back in the game?
What would I tell you to do to get your head back in the game? What would I tell you to do? God, you couldn't stop me right there.
What do you mean? You
Is
already
it-
said it. You step back and you reset, you evaluate your
Well,
goals.
you always
And
want
you'll get
to
your
reset.
schedule.
Yeah, but you always want to reset. That's the thing. But what Shetty's
What do you do to keep your head in the game? Because every time I see you, you're upbeat, you're energetic, you don't look tired, you don't look mad.
Well, the thing is, the environment I put myself in, the people that I surround myself in, that's what keeps me motivated. And the energy from the people that I work with.
So basically, if my head is in the wrong place, you're gonna tell me, look, the environment that you're in is what put you there.
Correct.
Take a look at changing your environment. Okay, whether that's changing up the decor in your
Or maybe-
room,
Well, if-
changing the aroma in your room, changing friends.
Imagine if Sherry every day sitting there, Mike, this I'm not doing so well, the listings are not happening, and this, but it's negativity that
Yeah.
she's taking and putting it on me,
Yeah.
which I don't want.
Yeah.
Not surround yourself with negative people or
I
in
don't
a
need
negative
that. We
environment.
don't need that as real estate agents. We want people that can make us powerful, get us out there, put a drive in us to go get them listings and want us to go out there. You're telling me I'm promoting Remax and I'm putting fire. I'm trying to tell people, giving them the fire that the company that we're in, the support that we have is huge. It's no joke. When I'm sitting there and I'm talking to a client and I'm going over NLP and I'm speaking to them, obviously that, everything I'm telling them is correct. Do you agree?
I agree.
So, I'm just giving you an example, but I never knew how to say that.
Yeah.
And that's powerful when talking to somebody.
So you haven't had a dry spell yet to experience, how to get out of it or anything like that.
Not quite, not yet.
Not
I'm
yet.
just, I'm still have that fire in me right now because just like I said, I got 100 units I gotta get to.
100. I thought it was 120.
Well, when I get to that, then I might have a dry spell after that. But no, just like I said, there's a goal that you want to set. And the fire that puts you in the daily routine that you're doing is because of that goal that you want to
And
accomplish.
I think we all set goals for each other here.
Yeah.
So I don't set, I go around asking I go around, I knock on the doors and I say, what are your goals for this year? Let me see. I might see 50 on the board. I'll erase it and do it 75. So the goals, the standards here that we are higher than normal average realtors. And that's one thing that we have. And I will help them to stay on track and help him stay disciplined so he can reach that goal.
Everybody has a dream. Everybody has a vision. Everybody wants a certain house with the luxury car, with that maid over bringing you a nice cold drink in the backyard, whatever it is.
With an umbrella. Don't
With
forget
an
the
umbrella. But I'm just saying, everybody has a vision and a dream. To get that vision and dream, you have to have a drive, and that what takes you to the next level.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
We all have kids. They all want to go to school, but with you not doing nothing about it, they're not going to get to school.
Right. I agree.
So that's where we're at.
I agree. Awesome. So, Mike, is there a question that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you that Sherry should ask you?
No,
We're still on a roll.
We're starting around.
No, basically, listen.
I'm sorry Robert was here. He gave me this whole list to ask him. We didn't even get to the list.
Well, Shetty was
We're going to get to part 2. So,
But no, there's a lot that we can say about the skills. There's a lot that we can say about marketing. There's a lot out there.
Okay, final advice for our audience. Final words of wisdom.
yes.
You got to have the fire, the energy, the drive to get where you want to get in life. That's very, very important. You got to have an image, a dream that you want to accomplish to get to a goal. You want to make sure that you get there. And, the thing is, Remax, I'm happy. I eat and bleed RE/MAX right now.
So did
And you wear remix.
And you were.
I'm constant. It's all over. RE/MAX all over. But no, I'm
They
happy.
might hire you to be their spokesperson.
But I'm happy with
pretty soon.
RE/MAX. I'm happy with the company. The support, the skills that I'm learning here through you, through Sherry, the people, the environment, it's just great.
Yeah.
And we're here to support each other.
They're gonna people are gonna think that Shady owns this company. Shady is it's just a show host here.
I'm just the host of the podcast.
But we're family.
Yes.
This is very powerful in any kind of business, and as long as we're a family and we're always gonna have that drive to help each other out and support each
Absolutely.
other. So
That's it.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So you know how we like to wrap up the show.
I sure do.
Okay. So who do you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. Good. Quote or book?
Do the book.
The book. The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer. Excellent book. Definitely gonna love it. You're gonna enjoy it. Get it. Book.
Good to great, Jim Collins.
Good to great. Jim Collins. Great book. Sherry.
How Successful People Think by John Maxwell.
Love it. All right.
Yes.
We are on a roll.
We
Okay.
sure are.
Quote. Who's gonna go first?
Go ahead, Mr. RE/MAX. You go.
Set goals, overcome obstacles, result success.
Love it.
Love
Is
it.
that good?
That's
Yes.
good.
I just made it up.
Yeah. That's original by Mr. Mike Sobh.
I'm gonna Google it and make
Yeah.
sure.
Making sure I don't know. I just
Sherry, your quote or my quote?
Your quote.
Okay, perfect. So how about this? When you focus on your problems, your goals go away. And when you focus on your goals, your problems go away.
Wow,
Think about that.
Shady. Wow, you always set the bar so high.
yeah.
You should have went first.
You should have said ladies first. I was waiting for you. See? You are ready for mine?
Yep.
Yeah.
The more you give, the more you receive.
Love it. The more
Very simple.
you give, the more
you
you receive. So keep the focus on giving, giving, and giving, and giving.
It's
That's
powerful.
why, yes.
Awesome. Any final words, anyone?
That's
No.
why here at RE/MAX Leading Edge, we like to give our agents
And give,
and give,
and give.
and we will receive.
That's right. That's right. Well, hey everyone, thank you very much for watching this episode of the Real Estate Leading Edge podcast. We appreciate your listening. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate your shares. We appreciate your likes, because that's what keeps the show going. And we will see you next week with another marvelous guest. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Real Estate Leading Edge podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with anyone you know who can benefit from the interview. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and a positive review. Thank you and see you next week.